So one of the things I learned, which probably could have learned a little earlier, leaving a company where I was a lead to running a company, was how people interacted with me. And this is something that I try to always help new CEOs or new directors when it's their company kind of talk about. Because when I was at Valve, I could go up to an engineer and I could kind of chide them of like, hey, there's an engineer, super smart engineer. They left Naughty Dog, came to Valve, and I'd be like, man, did you see the water that Naughty Dog did? It is really good. Oh my God, if we had engineers that good here. Right, and it was because we wanted to do some water in the Left 4 Dead series. And, he's not stupid. He knows he's being manipulated. But equally, it's a bit of a challenge. And it's a bit of a dig. Also why I like doing this in person, because you can do that in person. You can't do that remotely. But he could take it, and he can then process if he could really have the time to do it or not, or if that was a right priority for him. And so I work really well in a place where I can be me strongly, and other people can push back and help kind of go back and forth. And I like that back and forth. That's one of the things I think you miss in remote, is people overhearing those conversations and the pushing the back and the forth. And so to me, that is really helpful, because that's how I learn as well, because the arguments I hear back help inform me and teach me about things I don't know about, as well as kind of help hone how we're talking about this, right? It's kind of good for everybody, but I really like that. Where when it's my company, even though I will tell people you can say no or push back on a better idea, some people could do that. Some people were senior enough and understood how to do that, but some people weren't. And so I would have to go into those conversations understanding I need to put a limit, and I need to have them explain to me their place in how they think about the limit, where that limit is, how we approach that limit, and then I could push to that. But if I could try to push back, because I want to be pushed back, right? But if you come from Amazon, you come from Microsoft, you learn not to push back against your boss, right? Where I'm saying, no, push back. And that was just really hard. And for some people, that just never worked. And then for some people, it would work in some stuff, but then some stuff, they just inherently like. So we had this whole thing. Our game is not about difficulty, it's about spectacle. So I wanted to spend time on spectacle, not difficulty, but we would make the game really hard, because it's really hard for some people to understand that kind of shift. And, I spent a lot of time doing that. Some of that's my failure. Some of that is just the way people are. And so I wouldn't get buy-in there, which is the most important thing, but I would get over buy-in on things that I didn't care about as much, right? And trying to sort through that and understand that. And, also when you're all in the same place together and we're all in the same office and we go to lunch together, I realized, I'm not one of the gang. No matter what I try, how they interact with me, I am not one of the gang. And I need to go to lunch by myself sometimes, because I need to let them bitch about me. And we can give them that space so that they can then come together and be like, hey, Chet, can we fix this? Can we do this differently? Hey, we have this idea, right? And sometimes that meant I missed out on some interactions, but that was okay. That was a good thing. I like that. And also, Le Pichet, the French restaurant up above, it was nice to sit there alone. I like eating alone a lot of times. I like my family as well, but you know what I'm saying. Okay. But so then though, the bigger realization was that I wasn't the big problem. All right. But they needed places to talk about other people that they were struggling with. People who I don't care about titles. I've never cared about titles. Never, ever, ever cared about titles. Some people very much cared about titles, and some people were causing conflict around titles. And we needed a place for other people to talk about that, so they can just check in with their coworker and be like, hey, what's up with this? What's up with this, right? And we had some people who were already kind of working remotely often, but they would come in at regular times, right? And that's kind of what they like. And again, don't yell at me about how you like work from home. I like cats in my lap too, but there is a lot we lose with interaction and velocity because we're working from home. That is my belief. You can yell at me that I'm wrong. That's cool. It's not a religion. You don't have to come kill me. You don't have to swear at me. People get so mad about this. Yes, I'm an old man. But we lose something by not being in person. So, if not, we would all just be digital, sitting in our rooms, sleeping in some kind of salt water or something. I don't know. All right. But so if you are starting something, and you have to realize, A, you are not one of the gang, and B, some people aren't going to push back at you, and you need to go then enter those conversations always armed with, how should they push back at me? What are the possible things? How can I drag that out? How can we make that conversation about, well, no, what's on your plate? What should we do? What can we have, right? So, yeah, and it's never perfect. It's always messy. I fail at a bunch. I mean, there should be another special in the game. We are missing the big creature that stops everything and breaks pacing. And it didn't get in there because we went to remote at that point and we went down paths that I didn't agree with and what I wanted, and I understood exactly what we're missing. And so if you ever play the game, we kind of make up for that in other ways, but it's missing, and it's missing because of my inability to manage remotely. And yes, again, so you can see a failure. Oh, I get it, man, I get it. You want to stay home. It's not religion. Everybody's got their own take. I like the color black. Maybe you like the color blue. I like working in the office. You like working from home. That's cool. That's cool. You don't need to yell at me. I get so much yelling at when I say I like working in the office.